Hey, my name is Tony Laurent. I'm CEO of Muscle and Bone NYC.
Create your life.
Create your life.
My daily schedule, wake up at 6 o'clock every single morning. I go over my goals, I go over my purpose. My purpose is very important that I read it out loud. I go into a corner, I read it out loud, and I say to myself 10 times at least, success. I say the word success out loud enough so that I try to build up some emotion. Sometimes I'll have tears well up in my eyes. When I've done that, I know I'm ready to perform my day. 7 o'clock, I have my first client. I walk over to the gym. Nice brisk walk, build up the heart rate, put it on them, have them do their warm-ups, run them through the session. At the end of that session, I go to my next session at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, it's back to the same thing, warm-ups, put the session on them, cool down. Next client at 9 o'clock. From 10 o'clock until 11:30, I train. I'll do some bag work, I'll do some shadow boxing, I do a lot of calisthenics and some light to medium weightlifting to keep the endurance and the muscles nice and tight. At noon, I'll go have some lunch, and then at 1 o'clock, I'll start doing administrative things. From 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock, I'm planning the next day. I'm planning the next week. I'm trying to figure out long-term strategies. That's my whole time in my administrative thinking, my administrative planning. 4 o'clock hits, I'm back on. Client number 3 for the day, client number 4 for the day. 4 o'clock, same thing, client number 5 for 5 o'clock. Client number 6 at 6 o'clock. Sometimes I have a 7 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, I am back home and I recap my day. I look over what everybody did. I try to figure out where their imbalances are. I try to figure out what needs to be done to tighten up the loose muscles, what needs to be done to loosen the tight, strong, hypertonic muscles. And then I go back to my goals, look at my purpose, and I go back to my corner and I say success 10 times. Try to get that emotional build up going again. And then I try to shut it down, watch a little TV, and crash. My defining moment, number 1, was when I was in my house and I was 24 years old. And I had gotten a check from the IRS of, I think it was $154.32. And that was just enough money to pay the electric bill for that previous month. And I said to myself, never again. I've been going through this for months, scraping and scrimping to make ends meet. I said to myself, never again. And I got an opportunity to learn how to trade at a company in Detroit. I moved to Detroit, having no guaranteed income, no nothing. But I made a decision that I would never be in that position ever again. Made the most of that opportunity. They paid me $1,000 a month, and for me at that time, that was a whole lot of money. It allowed me to pay my bills, it allowed me to live my life, and it allowed me to learn how to trade. It allowed me the opportunity to grow, prosper down the line. Opportunity moment number 2, defining moment number 2, was when I learned the difference of trading emotionally versus trading properly. Making my own decisions at the right time, when to pull the trigger, when to get into trades, when to get out of trades. Made a huge difference to my sense of confidence and to my bottom line, to my bank account. Defining moment number 3 came about when I realized that I wasn't all about money. Money was not my reason for existing. I'm a coach. My job is to give, to try to bring the best out of people. That's where I know I live, and that's where I'm happiest, when I'm pulling the best out of somebody. Defining moment number 3 for me was when I realized that I was not all about money. Money was not the end game for me, that I needed something else, and I discovered what that something was, and that was coaching people. That was helping people to become their best sense of themselves. That's what allowed me to start becoming a trainer. That's what allowed me to start becoming an acting coach. That's where I live. That's where I'm the best person I can be. The way I stay motivated is by understanding that the whole thing is a journey. It's never an arrival. There's never a time where you arrive at some place. So you have to be very, very specific about where you place your goals. If you set yourself up with goals that are too easily attainable, when you achieve them, there's not much more to go unless you have something else that you've put out there that's a little further beyond. So you have to make sure that you have these goals that keep you actively engaged in whatever your process is, whatever you're trying to do. One of the things that I love to do is what I mentioned before, and that is waking up in the morning saying success out loud so I can feel it in my cells. It gives me an emotional reaction. I know I'm ready to start my day. Same thing when I get home. I'm closing out the night, getting ready to wake up fresh for the next morning. Go in that same corner and say success out loud. With that emotional, shut it down. The way I decide who I answer the phone for, people who are worth my time, clients are always critical. And the clients who I bring on actually people who I find some kind of way they motivate me to push them further, and that pushes me to become an even better trainer, an even better coach. I also pick up the phone for my good friends who bring value to my life. I don't just have friends because they've been in my life for a long time. They actually bring value to my life. They bring something to the table, some kind of emotional bolstering at a time when I'm feeling down, or they'll recall stories that I might need to hear to light me up, or they'll give me some stories about times where I was able to overcome something very, very challenging. People who add things, tangible things that make me a better person, or who I answer the phone for, who I keep in my circle all the time. 3 things I would tell someone who's looking to transition into some sort of new job, new life, whatever. 1, be very, very clear about what that thing is that you want to do, and make sure that it's tied to some kind of purpose in your life, so that you have something driving you every single morning to get out of bed, to perform at a high level. 2, be very specific about the types of goals, the types of steps that are going to be required for you to achieve that. Write them down, visit them frequently. Specifically, visit them in the morning, first thing in the morning when you wake up, and visit them right before you go to bed. That's when the psyche is open and ready to receive whatever. 3rd thing, very, very important, always sharpen that saw. Keep learning your craft. Don't get to a point where you're feeling comfortable. Don't get to a point where you feel like you know it all. If you get to that point, your goal probably isn't big enough for you. Keep on learning, keep on going to get new classes, talk to people who have been in your field, your chosen field, for a lot longer than you, people who can add value to your endeavor to make you the best at whatever it is that you decide to undertake. Create your life, baby! Create it!
Beautiful people, I'm Kevin Y. Brown, the host of the Create Your Life series, and I want to say thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this short segment, then you'll love the full interview. So please listen, share, and subscribe to our podcast.